Sharkie Gamer here. So today we're going to check out a Monster Hunter bundle. So this one in particular is the Monster Hunter Frontier 7.0, which comes bundled with the Logitech Dual Action Controller for PC. So let's take a look at the packaging. So this is the front of the box here. Of course you can see the Monster Hunter Frontier 7.0 logo, followed of course by an image of the controller itself. Now of course it says Logitech because in Japan Logitech is known as Logitech. Now down the bottom here it says PC Game Controller Monster Hunter Frontier Online Starter Package. Of course here it shows some items. I don't read Japanese, but I believe they may have been bonuses that you got in this package. I'm not really sure. And of course in the front here you got some really cool Monster Hunter artwork. Looks pretty awesome. Looking at the sides, so the one side again you've got the cool artwork. On the back it shows you a whole bunch of features, including that of the controller. And the other side again it shows those bonus items. So taking a closer look at the controller. So this is basically a Logitech Dual Action Controller for PC. It's a gamepad style controller. It connects via USB and the cable should be more than enough to go to your computer. It just plug and play as a standard gamepad on your computer. You can of course install the Logitech software as well, and it'll detect it as a Logitech controller. Now, going into the controller itself, it's shaped exactly like most gamepads. And of course on the back there it says Logitech Dual Action. Now the actual grips themselves are quite nice. They've actually got like a rubber textured finish on the side here. It's not quite rubber, it's sort of like just an accent of rubber there, but it's definitely got a different texture to it, so it provides you a little bit more grip when you're holding the controller. So when you're holding it, it's quite nice, it's quite comfortable in your hands, and the grip stops slipping out of your hands. Now going into the functions, you've of course got dual analog sticks, which also click down. You have a D-pad on the side here, which as D-pads go is not that great. It does the job, but I've felt a lot better. Of course you have your main face buttons, numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. And here you've got number 9 and 10, and mode button down the bottom. Flipping it over, on the back end here, you've got the rest of the buttons, so you've got 6, 8, and 5, and 7. So these act as your trigger and bumper buttons. Now, of course, you can play these with any PC game. You don't have to use only with Monster Hunter. This is just a bundle that comes with the Logitech controller, but you can usually buy these on their own, and you can play it with any game on PC. Well, almost any game. Any game that will detect it. Not standard gamepad will detect this thing, so you shouldn't really have a problem. They're quite good. They work with modern PCs here as well, so you can still use them even today. Plug and play sort of game controller. Play with all different types of games. You can configure what buttons do what inside most game menus, or if they have a special customized controller menu, then you can use that. So if you prefer this style of menu versus say like an Xbox controller, then of course you could use something like this. It's got the standard sort of more PlayStation than Xbox kind of layout, so if you prefer that, then of course you can use something like this. The Logitech controllers are well made, they feel really nice to hold, and they work brilliantly if you prefer using a gamepad to say a keyboard and mouse. Now overall, this controller is pretty cool. It works well in all the games I tried it with. There were a couple of games that I struggled to get the game to detect the controller, but that's in general with those type of games. Some of them, if you're playing a Steam game, you need to change your Steam settings. Some of them just prefer Xbox controllers. So it really comes down to what game you're playing, but also works across a number of different Windows platforms. So whether you've got an older computer or you've got a new one, it should detect it as a game controller. They're pretty comfortable to use, they work pretty well, very nice kind of analog sticks, seems to function fine, it's very comfortable to hold even if you're playing it for a while. So overall they're a pretty cool controller. Logitech does make good controllers, so you're not getting anything cheap, and of course these things are really easily to buy. They're very common. You see them just about everywhere. Of course, if you want the Monster Hunter bundle, you may have to buy it from Japan. We'll get it off eBay from a Japanese seller or someone else selling the Japanese version of it. But you can get them on their own as well without the bundle. So if you don't worry about Monster Hunter, or if you're not a fan or anything like that, then of course you can buy them on their own. And they are very common. You do see them everywhere, so they are easy to find and generally pretty cheap. So overall, it's a pretty good option. If you prefer playing games with a gamepad, you don't like using a keyboard and mouse for certain things, and you want a gamepad, then of course this would be the way to go. I, for one, if there's certain platforming games or certain games that are just harder with a keyboard, then I'll just pick up a gamepad and use this thing and play that game with a gamepad. So overall, it's pretty cool. So you guys, that was the Logitech Dual Action Controller, that of course is included in the Monster Hunter Frontier 7.0 Starter Bundle. I'm Sharkie Gamer. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. It helps out a heap. Thanks again for watching, guys.